Brothers and sisters all over the world, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to each and every one of you all over the world. The name of this channel is The African Times, and I'm Thomas. All right, everybody, how are you? Listen, I'm out at another beach, just enjoying looking at some property, and stopped in to get a bite to eat. And I figured, wow, this is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. I better take a minute to show you. Okay. All right. So this is, I think it's called Weza Beach in Kigamboni. So let's take a look real quick here and show you guys. Yeah, Weza. So what I'm going to do, because I'm here, I want you to see, you look behind me. See the water there? Look at that. Let's get in there. Yeah. You see that? Very, very nice. Yes, very, very nice. Oh! Yeah, look at that. Alright, so I'm just showing you that. It's beautiful. And let me come around here. See, beautiful. I'm going to take a picture of it without me doing this, kind of to show you. You know, it's beautiful here. This is it's just fabulous. It's great for the kids too. They got a little playground area. Very, very nice. All right, very, very nice. So as you can see behind me, so it's very, very nice. All right, so listen, we're going to take a few minutes here to just let you know, as I'm riding around here, Kigamboni, very, very nice area. Now, I am noticing something here. We have to be careful about this. When you ride around, you notice we're all having a good time with one another, and that's fantastic. It's very important to be able to do that, to enjoy one another, live together, and be happy. Now, what we have to be able to do is take that same togetherness, that same happiness and energy, and pull that together for economic purposes. The building and the manufacturing and development of all of the things that we need to function and survive in this world. It's very important to be able to do that. When I was living in America, we would all get together and have a good time. We'd have parties and we'd have things like that, and that was all wonderful. It's great. Now, me being the kind of person I am, I think I talked to many of you about that. I was the kind of person that whether, I would bring up things, unfortunately, at the parties with the brothers, the men who were there like me. I would bring up things like, let's talk about how we as brothers can come together and pool our resources to develop some kind of business. And it would always be like a party crasher, party pooper. I was the guy that, hey man, what are you doing? What are you doing? We're here to have fun. We're here to have a good time. And I would sit and I would listen and I would say, okay, yeah, I'm here to have a good time too, brother. But what I would notice is that while I'm having a good time, conversations were really, just conversations kind of shooting the breeze. We talk about sports, like, say, we talk about, back when I was a kid, what Michael Jordan was doing, what Magic Johnson was doing, and who was winning in the basketball, what team would be the best college football team. We'd have all these conversations. That's what we do for hours. Then we stop talking and we talk about a bunch of other stuff that it's cool to shoot the breeze about every now and then. But here's the problem, though. We've been doing that since I was like 16, 17, 18 years old. I'm talking about men, brother. I'm talking to us, brothers. So we'd have this conversation and we'd talk about that and this and that and what, But when it came time to talk about how we can come together and how we can get together and make some changes in our lives and in the lives of our children and our community and our posterity and for all of us. Didnoraz get a lot of takers into that conversation. Didn't get a lot of that. We had a lot of time to talk about everything else. So what I'm saying to you, it's unfortunate that I'm where I am now, the age that I am. I understand because I go through years and years and years and years of trying to do things, trying to develop things of that nature. And then I'm here, and now, even today, when I go and I talk to brothers about, hey, I don't have time anymore to just be shooting the breeze. That's fun on occasion, very, very few occasions. But we're in a state of emergency right now that requires our whole dedication of life, energy, and focus to solve some of our problems. And this is not, as I said before, this is not something that we can just hope is going to change. We're not ready to pray this into change. None of that's going to happen. It's going to require thought, energy, and effort. So when we're out having a good time, we can talk about, while we're having a good time, those things necessary to change our position. You understand? To change our position. It's not impossible. It's not even really difficult. It can be done, but it's only going to be done if it's in your state of mind, if it's in your consciousness. That's why I have that discussion. Now, remember, I'm talking about solutions. I'm talking about solutions. So I don't want you to think even this conversation that I'm having with you right now is just me talking about what we're not doing. I'm talking about what we should be doing and what we have to do, what's going to be required to get out of this situation. So while we're sitting back having a good time, having your favorite beverage, your favorite food, whatever it is, engage each other and talk about how you can come together, unite, to change those things that you need to change for the future of our children. Us men, not boys, not little girls, men. That is the reason that we have air in our bodies, and the reason we are alive is to make sure that those individuals coming behind us, those children, those women, are taken care of. Our senior citizens, as I told you before, taken care of. So when we have time to sit back, laugh, talk, and have a good time, why is it considered work if we start talking about the things necessary to keep us laughing, joking, and having a good time? That's not work. That should be just as much fun as the other stuff. Just as much fun. Now, I know I'm a different kind of individual. I understand that. I've had to live with that my whole life, being the kind of person that I am, because there's no question in my mind. See, I want to work. I want to figure out every day what I need to do so that my children won't suffer the way I suffered for 55 years. Let me tell you something. I've been working since I was 8 years old. At 8 years old, I went around to all the houses in the neighborhood where I live, knocked on the door, and told them all that, hey, look, where I'm from it snows, so we get a lot of snow when I was a kid, a lot of snow. So I knocked on the door and I told everybody, I will shovel your snow for you. You pay me a little bit of money, but you don't have to shovel it anymore. I'm going to do it for you. 8 years old. So many people said that, yeah, they liked it because they thought it was cute little kid coming around, so they told me, okay. So then I got so many customers, I had to come get a cousin of mine to help me. That was my first business. That was it. That was my first one. Then when the snow melted and then spring came and summer came, I went to those same people and I said, look, I did your snow, I can cut your grass. And I started cutting the grass, pushing a little lawnmower around. And everybody thought it was so cute, young little boy, 8, 9 years old. Okay. But in America, that transcended from being a little boy to a man. Now I'm having to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week just to survive. Okay? best part of the day. Remember, when you work, they take the best part of your day. Yeah, they do. 9 to 5, 8 to 4, 8 to 5, 7 to 3, 7 to 4, 3 to 11, 3 to 12, 4 to 12. They take it. Now, do you realize that's an economic system? That is a group of people who decided that the best way for them to take advantage of all of the labor available to them is to work you for their benefit. But you don't have to, we don't have to have it that way. See, if we organized as men, which is what I'm talking about, we spend all our time working together and talking about the things necessary to change our situation. If we did that, we could say, well, hey, look, we only want to work 3 days a week. The other 4 will live and be with our families, help raise our children, live and have a healthy, productive, enjoyable life. Not working yourself to death where they tell you work 5 days and you get 2 days off. And understand what that really means. You work 5 days, so you get up. You got to be at work at 8 o'clock. You up at 6:30. On the road, you got to commute because you live far away. So you up at 6:30. You on the road by 7:30. Fighting traffic. You get to work at 8 o'clock. When you get done, it's 5 o'clock. You're driving home. Maybe an hour. You get home at 6 o'clock, 6:30. Now, if you have children, here's what you're going to be doing. Preparing for the next day. You're tired. You got to do things around the house that you need done. Cooking, washing clothes. What are you trying to get that done? You're cutting the grass. You're doing all these things. Now it's 8 o'clock. So you basically have been up 12 hours. 14 hours. For what? For the purpose of bringing wealth to some other people. When you could do that yourself. You can pool your resources. You don't even need the bank. You don't need it. All you got to do, 15, 20, 30 of y'all get together. 30 of us. We come together and we take our resources. We pool them. $10 here. 10 pounds here. Whatever your currency is, you pool it. We're going to put it together. You find some people that you trust, that you like, and stop saying you can't find them because they're there. When you talk, have purpose in your discussion. I don't care what the basketball players and the football players, and I don't care what they do, the boxers, and I don't care what they do. Good for them. And it's nice we can enjoy it. But haven't you noticed something? All these rich, wealthy people, and there's a couple of other groups too, let's not leave them out. You got these people talking about they're rich, whether they're television stars, superstars, TV stars, singers, dancers, I don't care who it is. Haven't we seen something over the past 50, 60, 70, 80, 100, 200, 300, 400 years? All this money, and it's for them as individuals, not for us. And it's going to continue to be that way because that's a part of the system to help keep us distracted, focused on nonsense. And these people will come up to you and tell you, oh, well, I did it as an individual. No, they didn't do it as an individual. It's impossible. If you're a basketball player, you can't get rich if ain't nobody watching. You can't get rich if you're a football player and ain't nobody watching. Baseball, football, basketball, all of it. It's all the same. You understand? So that means if you have any kind of sense at all, you have to understand we must come together as individuals. You understand? The local brother, the local sister. And men, it's us. We got to do it. Come together, figure out what you need to do, pool your resources. Don't go to the bank. Don't need them. It's enough people. You come together, pool the resources, and then you say, okay, which one of us has a good idea? Which one of us do we believe can accomplish this, can lead us in this way? And then you take a chance, you take a risk, okay? This is how it must be done. We don't have any more time to be sitting back with all the nonsense and all the talking and food. We don't have more time for that. Okay? So listen, I'm gonna have to go. They brought my food. But I just wanted to say, when we get together, men, we gotta get together with purpose. The purpose for being alive. It's not just to, be able to go play, some games and sit back and laugh and joke and hee ha ha. When the lives of our children are at stake. And I'm not just saying it to be dramatic. I'm telling you, the lives of our children are at stake. Do we want to be enslaved? Generation after generation after generation. And let me tell you, Because some of you may be saying, I ain't no slave. I ain't never been away. Slavery has always been up. Let me show you something so you understand. Let me make sure you understand it. See, an economic system, when it's controlled by others, all of us are enslaved, even the W's. See, there was a progress. So take, for example, feudalism. There's a group of people who own some land, and then they have peasants. And the peasants work for them, these people. And they have the feudal lords, right? People who have the big land, and they let the people, you can live on my land, but you gotta work for me. You can work 3 days, you can work 5 days, you can work 6 days, maybe the 7 days for yourself. Or in the beginning, as they say, you work 3 for me, then you work 3 for yours, you have 1 day off. Feudalism, okay? Lords, these were the people who were in charge. And serfs. Lords and serfs. Lords tell the serfs how to work, how many days to work, so forth. Serfs, they do what the lords tell them. Now, that was a form of kind of slavery. And, you know, they had to work and they didn't really earn any money, but they got a chance to live on the land and do things like that. Then they changed. Lords and serfs, master slave. Master slave, you ain't gonna get no money, but you're gonna work the way the master tells you. And then you being the slave, now you're gonna work and you're gonna do what they tell you to do for 6, 7 days. Maybe you get a day off, work 12 hours a day, whatever. Okay? Now think about something. You are a slave, and there's the master, right? They gotta take you to the field. So you have to have transportation from where you stand. And sometimes when you stay here on the plantation, or you stay here, and they provide the house. They provide the shelter for you to stay, because you got to go out and work for them. Then they provide the horse. They provide the transportation to the field. Okay, now, but then they change. Remember, that's starting lord and serf, master slave. Now you get to employer, employee, employer, employee. And guess what the employer has to do? They have to have a location for you to come and work. You build what they want you to build. You do what they want you to do. You got to have transportation to get there. But now we're talking about a bigger market, a bigger group of people. So guess what you got to do? I can't carry you in a horse and buggy over there no more, because too much distance between us. You got too many things to go, too many businesses and buildings. So what I do is I give you a car. What? I'm paying you the money now. You think you're not a slave because you're getting paid money. No, you're getting the money because I need you to pay for your own shelter. You can't all stay with me. It's too big now. So I'm going to give you the money to pay for the car. I'm going to give you the money to pay for the house. I'm going to give you the money to do the things you need to do so you can get over here and do my job. But the relationship has never changed. The relationship is still the same. Lord, serf, a group of people who are lords, very small in number, controlling all of the serfs, the little people, and the people do what they tell them to do. Then it changed. Master, slave. Master, same people who own everything, tell you what to do. You do what they tell you. You go where they want you to do. They provide you with the house and the transportation, all of that. Then employer, employee. The only thing that changes is the words. The relationship is still the same. You understand? Small group of people in control, telling you what to do. Now remember, you can make some changes. There's more y'all to do. You can do some things. Yeah, you can start to build. You can start to build. But if it's not in your mind, if it's not in your consciousness, if you don't want to come together and spend your time as men talking about that stuff that needs to be discussed so that our children are subject to this, then we're going to remain the same. Okay, listen, I got to go. My food is getting cold. The wife just came to tell me that, so I'm going to get on over there. I love you guys. That's the only reason why I'm saying this. I had to learn this too. I don't want you to think I know all the answers. I don't. But one thing I do know, this condition doesn't have to remain. It doesn't have to stay. It doesn't have to be this way. We can change it. Just like they changed from lord to serf, lord and serf, to master slave, to employer, employee. Those are economic systems. We can provide our own economic system and we have the wealth to do it. We don't even need the banks. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to show y'all where the money's going to come from. Hey, have a good night. I love you all. Good talking to you. I'll be be talking to you soon. I love you all. Uhuru. Uhuru. Uhuru.